This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. So today I'm going to show you this clip of Gilbert Arenas sending LeBron a message.
He was the 55th pick. We know that. We see it's easier to talk about it now because we know the results. Right? We know the results, right? Just like any second round pick, majority of the second round players usually don't even make it to the NBA. That season, they usually don't last. They're in the G League or they got cut before the season even started. So at least there's 30 players in the G League. 30 players in the second round. At least 15 of them got cut before the season even started. The ones who do get in, they're in G League. Other than that, they play at the end of the game. Okay, him getting in with his father in the middle of the game one, understandable. Against Philly, nah, that was suicide. But as a coach, I'm not gonna lie. There was a time when we were playing against Minnesota, playing against KG. Chauncey Billups was on that team. And at the end of the third quarter, coach put me, I wasn't playing. I'm not doing nothing. And he just calls on me and said, hey, Rook, go in there, pressure full court, shake some shit up. Like, all right. Right? Chauncey Billups is there. KG's out there and all of that in the middle of anything. Right? The difference is I had 8 points. I was out there. I'm never going to get back on this court. I did my thing. Right? You know what I mean? I ain't had to play against named Maxey, who's trying to score 30. Chauncey was still getting into his own, right? So I had me a quick little 8, tied the game up, set my black back on the bench, never seen a game for another 2, 3, 5, 7. You know what I mean? So, but there's times where a coach does some random shit, and that seems like what JJ did, and it did get Bronny James barbecued out there.
0.4 assists, blah, blah, blah. And I said, why? Because I'm like, now I can't ignore it. Because how am I doing my job? If now you put me in a position where because they put the stats up, everyone is blowing it up. They're putting it on all their social media pages. And it's like, how all of that's happening? But Stephen A. Smith got nothing to say. I can't get away with it no more.
I thought Kenyon would be on our side as a father. I didn't know he was going to be siding against fatherhood, being a father. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't get that one. Like, it was, you as a father, you would have understood the move LeBron did, but Kenyon didn't. He was against all of it. Like, I understood where he's coming from. We both right, but I thought that Kenyon would be more on what LeBron did because he kind of did the same thing with his son. A little bit, not the same fashion, but same idea. Protecting them from all the elements of outside until they was ready to be on their own.
Let me just jump in real quick because Gilbert ain't just talking. He's making a real point here. When he says LeBron needs to let Bronny grow, it's not about criticism. It's about recognizing that at some point, every young man has to stand on his own.
The only way LeBron can protect his son from all elements of everything is if he's in-house. If he's in-house, he can control the outcome a lot better in-house. He has more dictatorship with the Lakers. Him going to another league he don't have no control over those GMs, over those players, over the media at that point. So if they want to say this terrible, there's nothing he can do about it. You know what I mean? So it seems like that's what he was doing and that's what he did, but they're only looking at one side of it. They're only looking at the backlash that he got drafted to the Lakers backlash, but don't realize that if the same kid was drafted somewhere else, if he was drafted to New York Knicks, what do you think that media and fan base would have did to him every time he got in the game and did? You know what I mean? Like, he can't protect them from those elements. He can protect them in-house.
What's up? So what are my thoughts about this? Here's the thing. When someone like Gilbert Arenas speaks on a situation involving parenting, growth, and public pressure, people listen because he's not just guessing. He's been in those environments. He's seen what fame does, and he understands how much weight comes with a name like LeBron James. His comments about LeBron needing to stop babysitting Bronny come from a place of experience, not disrespect. It's not about calling anyone a bad parent or assuming there's a problem. It's more about what happens when a young man is trying to grow under the biggest spotlight in the world. Bronny James is talented, driven, and surrounded by opportunity, but that spotlight can be overwhelming. Gilbert's warning is really a message to let Bronny figure things out on his own terms. When a parent, even with the best intentions, stays too close, it can start to look like control rather than support. And in the world of professional sports, independence is key. Athletes need space to fail, learn, adjust, and come back stronger. Bronny isn't just trying to live up to his father's legacy, he's trying to create his own. That's a difficult thing to do when everyone only sees you as LeBron's son. Gilbert isn't saying LeBron is doing something wrong. He's just saying that maybe it's time to ease up and allow Bronny to show the world what he's really made of without constantly being under the same umbrella. A lot of people will relate to this dynamic, whether in sports, business, or life in general. We all know what it feels like to want freedom while still needing guidance. The balance is tough, but at some point, every young man has to step out of the shadow and take control of his own journey. And that's what Gilbert seems to be encouraging here, not division, but growth. The spotlight isn't going anywhere, but the way Bronny carries himself in it could change everything. Okay, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, and also like this video. I'll see you in the next video.